Shalom Israel, Muslim Christ bless. Brother Elijah from Iuic Boston. Um, it's a great honor to be part of this challenge, and all praises to the Most High that Captain Oshai came up with that great idea for this challenge. That was a perfect time for that challenge. And first question is, why did I join Iuic and how long? I've been with Iuic for about 2 years now, and the reason why I joined Iuic, first, before Iuic, I was living in Montreal, and one time my brother Officer Obadiah from Tallahassee, give me a call, and we were all going over some scriptures, and I was like amazed the things that he knew. He was so knowledgeable about the Bible, and I felt like I didn't know anything whatsoever. So that kind of like made me want to learn more, So, and I kept talking to him back and forth and stuff like that, so I could get more information from him. And then he gave me direction to go to YouTube videos. That's when I start watching Bishop and all the deacons, captains, and stuff like that. So, and the more and more I keep getting into watching those videos, I'm learning more. So, and the zeal that I see those brothers were teaching on the street with, the way they were like teaching the people, that kind of like is inspiring me to be part of it. And I think that was a great things they were doing, because they were magnifying the law, trying to show people that they're not supposed to be sinning, how they're supposed to apply God's laws, and how when you sit there and look at the whole picture, when they were teaching and you see those people, the way they look, the state of the people, they don't see it, but you can see it, and I think that was a good thing. That was a good visual to see, and when you post these things on YouTube, other people will see that, and I think that's one way people can learn through the media as well. So I think that was very great. So that was one of the reasons why I joined Iuic. And those guys, they were keeping God's laws, and although there was other camps I could go to, but they were the most strict about keeping God's laws. So I think that was very important. And second question, what made me decide to look for the Most High? At first, I used to go to church. I never really have any passion going there, because I don't know, I just didn't feel connect to anything when I was there. I used to go because my family usually goes, so I go with them and sit there. It's like I was a ghost in the midst of that congregation at the time. But once I started getting to the truth, when I was talking to my brother and more, I started seeing that something was wrong, and that's when I really start second guessing things. And the more I study, the more I'm starting to be drawn to the Most High. So, and I think that's how we started. I didn't really like decided one day to like I'm start looking for the Most High. It was just like through that process of me communicating with my brother and go to YouTube watching those videos, and the scriptures started to be clear to me. So that's when I started to see, okay, now it's the time. This is why I felt like I had no sense of had no purpose whatsoever. So so I think that was the time that I need to be doing something that's important. I felt like now I had a calling where before I didn't. So that's the second question, why I decided to start looking for the Most High. The third question is, what scripture sealed it for me? So for me in this walk, that's a no-brainer. It's gotta be Deuteronomy 28, because Deuteronomy 28 kind of like give you the curses, and verse 46 tells you like those curses gonna be upon you for a sign and a wonder. So when you look at your people and see the state that they're in, not even look at yourself, look at the people, and all these curses are applying to them. They're sitting there arguing with the prophets, telling them the truth, and where you could see it, you'll be like, man, I was very amazed when those brothers are sitting there teaching, and you could see the state of the people, and you looking outside in at those people, you'd be like, man, that's very amazing how the Most High give us the Bible, like it's a mystery for some, but for us now, for us to get the understanding the clarification of all these things, that's powerful. And how he says that the poor, we're the poor at the very bottom, how we could see these things, and guys who never went to university or college or high school, never finished high school, you see these guys are in the street teaching. How powerful is that? You know what I'm saying? How powerful is that? I think that was very powerful when I see these guys teaching on the street. You see guys that are on drugs, guys that used to smoke all day, every day. These things were like ancient histories to them. They just stopped doing this thing completely. Why? Why? There's a power behind that. So I'm saying. So I think this is very important. So yeah, the scripture that sealed it for me is Deuteronomy 28, because the curses are just lined up perfectly with the people. So for me, that was Deuteronomy 28. What made me continue to work with IUIC, to stay with IUIC? Well, again, applying the scriptures, they're applying the laws, they're applying God's laws. And if I have a clear glass of water, what's the need of going anywhere else looking for other things? Because if I can have a glass of water in my hand, it's clear, and there's nothing wrong with the water, why look for elsewhere for anything else? So I feel like those guys are applying God's laws, and there's no need for me to be jumping from one place to another, because that would bring me confusion. So I try to stay applying God's laws, read, study, so I can grow my faith. So that's the only reason why I remain to stay with IUIC. Last question. Quote your favorite scripture. For me, it's Revelation 12:17. It goes, "The dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of his seeds, which keep the commandments of God and the testimony of Jesus Christ." So when I think of that scripture, that kind of gives me the sign to prepare myself, because the time is at end, where the prophecy is starting to unfold, when your enemy is starting to see the changes in you. Now they're gonna be giving you trouble. They're gonna be angry with us. So they're not gonna be angry with those who are not applying God's laws. So they're gonna be how they gonna know that they're applying God's laws? Because they're gonna see those fringes. They're gonna see that you're not partaking in their holidays and stuff like that. That's how once you separate yourself from them, now you classify as an enemy. They're gonna see you as such. So, and also those who have the true testimony of Christ, like how Christ looked like. They change his image, make him look like them, so they could have a good standard, because Christ had a good standard. So they think if Christ was perfect, was a perfect man, he was a upright man. So when they use that name, and then they put a white image over it, now everybody that look to that image, all they would see is great. That race is great, because all you see is a white man, and they don't really know the true Christ. So and I think that's why the dragon the enemy gonna be angry with those who keep God's laws, the remnant of Israel. So that kind of gives me the hope and patience to wait for that reward when it comes. So hopefully the Lord will make me endure to the truth. With that, I'll say shalom. Most Christ bless.